Hello everyone, welcome to week 11 of the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2021. This week, a bit of an iffy week to be honest. I have one of the dirtiest races. Oh, I'm involved in one of the dirtiest races. It's not me that's being dirty, but that's a little bit later on. Here we are at Maggiore West, first of all. Let's have a look at the race details. We're racing 4 laps here at Maggiore West. It's a grid start. We're on Sport soft tyres. And you have a choice of 2 cars. You've got the choice of the Renault Sport Clio V6 or the Toyota MR2 97 car. Now, the only car you really need to pick here is the Renault Sport Clio. I'll leave it there. Let's jump to the race then. Let's see what happens because, well, there's another race that's dirtier than this. This one isn't exactly clean. Here we are then at the start. And as you can see, it's just all Clios. There's literally no MR2 in sight. I didn't see an MR2 on the leaderboard either. So the MR2 is pretty much non-existent. So the Clio Cup, or Clio V6 should I say, is the one for you. It is technically a Clio Cup car at this point because it's just a Clio Cup race, I guess. Anyway, track control on 1. Let's get away with a nice clean start here. You can see the Greek driver up ahead. Got a lot of wheel spin, a little bit of wheel spin. There was wheel spin anyway. I'm going to head towards turn 1. 3 wide, and just from behind, someone absolutely launches it into the Greek there. Unfortunately, fortunately, everyone survives. Unfortunately, we just get hit off then. People aren't taking it easy at the start here, and this is sort of a theme of the week, I would actually argue, as we come through right-hander. We've got our best mate here, Gallego 53. We seem to have had a truce at some point, which is all good, I guess. So at least we can race as through the right we go here. A little bit of door bashing going on there. No, I did expect a little bit of door bashing, let's be honest here. We always have it in road cars where there's a little bit of door bashing, so if you never like that, it's worthwhile just noting never do race A. However, here it does get a bit extreme as you see Jay Barker go absolutely extreme into Hurricane there. And yeah, Hurricane just gets absolutely nuked there, unfortunately. It's just terrible lunge down the inside. The Greeks suffered there as well, so around the outside of them we go. Be on the inside of Hurricane Rider, and we're going to get that position there up to P10 after what I would consider quite a miserable start here. So through we go, heading down towards the last corner, and once again was that Barker on the inside? I don't know what's up with Barker. Barker, if you're watching this, mate, you've hit 3 people so far. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Terrible driving, but we get the advantage on Gallego and Mr. Amthrop. Mr. Amthrop obviously in the incident with Barker. In towards the first corner we go on the inside. Barker runs too deep once again, and I know they've got dirt on their tyres, so I stay on the inside. No idea what's happening with the guys up ahead, Twicey and Yannis. Yeah, I was getting so confused in this race already at this lap, so I was in P-Steve just for a brief moment. We're going to head back to there. Side by side with the Greek of Yannis then. In towards the left we go. If you have a look at that radar, just get pushed off here, so I've got dirt on my tyres here. I'll let off the throttle to, you know, I can't go anywhere, and unfortunately Yannis goes off there, and then Barker takes their penalty. We're into P5. After all of that carnage and chaos, we're into P5. I was very concerned there was going to be some lunges or something going to happen. It remains status quo for now. Status quo as through we go. So what we are going to do, we're going to advance a bit further on now, and we're going to start the track guide. Obviously, you guys mainly watch this for the track guide and to get a feel of the race. You've had a feel of the race. Track guide time. So heading towards turn 1, we're going to look for the oh so famous brake marker. We're going to look for both vans this time, the dark blue and the light blue. Now I'm using the dark blue one here, especially in slipstream, and basically just before that, just before it goes off screen, that's when I'm braking, and I'm going to drop to 3rd gear. And I want to use the inside of the curve as much as possible. I'm then going to head towards the right-hander here, and just at the end of that white marker, you can see I'm just going on the brakes now, and I'm going to drop to 2nd gear. And you really want to keep it tight here. Keep it very tight. Try and keep the car balanced. Obviously, it's a bit boxy, so you just got to be careful of that. Round we go. You will get some oversteer on exit. Twice he gets a little bit. We get a little bit as well. And then through here, just bounce the car in 3rd gear. No need to brake here. Just bounce the car and off we go. You can go up to 4th as well. That should help the bounce a little bit more. That is your decision how you want to make that. So we are in slipstream here now. I do like Maggiore West, to be fair. It's quite a nice little circuit, to be honest. So we're going to have the slipstream of Twicey. So down the inside we go. Look at that with purple as well. All happy days. A short shift to 6th there, well worthwhile on the crest of the hill because the car will get light and you will hit the limiter. Heading towards the hairpin, what I would do is look for that flag marker there, but brake just before it. You can see I'm just going on the brakes right about now, and you're going to drop to 3rd gear for the big banky boy. So in we go. on the inside, and we get that position. Nice bit of clean racing there as we continue on up the hill now. So this is all as standard for Maggiore, whether it's Maggiore GP or West here. Flat out, try and cut the inside a little bit here. You may find you have to lift a little bit on exit if you get it slightly wrong, but it should be fine. Heading towards this, then you're looking for the black marks on the curb there on the left hand side. You can actually use this before the cones as well, but that's what I use mainly. When I get to that point, this is when I know I'm going to start braking. See, just as I finish, I'm on the brakes. I stay in 4th gear. That's to keep the car balanced. And as I come through here, and then just going to drop it to 3rd. I dabbed the brake there, but I would recommend not dabbing the brake. Just dropping it to 3rd. Let the engine do all the braking there for you as we continue through the corner. Now, heading towards the left-hander here, we have a new brake marker, or one I have used briefly in the past. The bullet signpost or thing on the left-hand side. Basically, the start of that, as it gets to the edge of your screen, brake and stay in 4th gear. Again, you want to keep the car balanced as best as you can, but you notice there we use that and we come through the corner and happy days. The car survives nice and easy, and we're going to continue on to turn 1 now. So let's see what happens here then. Probably wondering what happens. Like I say, what's going to happen in about 2 seconds time. In towards braking zone we go. Twice he goes for an absolute lunge and a half. Unfortunately gets it slightly wrong. Unfortunately we just survive here. Just survive and managed to keep that position. Just a minor mistake there from Twicey, but obviously I show you all the incidents in a race, so you just get a feel for it. So we're going to advance further on now in the lap, the final lap. Twicey's going to have a good run with slipstream here. On the brakes we go. Down the inside here. I'll leave plenty of room there. Somebody behind just got it slightly wrong. Gives me space on the exit. Unfortunately, twice he was in 2nd gear, so I was expected to do a cutback, but unfortunately, they were doing the gear change and I just tapped the rear there, so I couldn't really do much in that scenario. So, bit of misfortune there. I did have a look, but that wasn't on the cards there. You notice I lift there just to avoid hitting twice. In towards the right-hander we go again. Just the end of that black mark on the left side on the curb we use. I've dropped to 3rd gear early here just because I see Twice is running a little bit wide. Again, notice how I'm just letting the engine brake. I actually have to use the brake a little bit more there because Twice is running wide. I'm a bit scared. So I'm trying to get on the inside. A little bit of oversteer there. So now I'm just sort of on the inside here. I've got to be careful. I have to back out of this a little bit. Twice he's got dirt on his tyres. We're going to look down the inside here. Unfortunately, they clip the grass and I have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. And I send Twicey to the realm of Narnia. Not the Shadow Realm, the Realm of Narnia. And I nearly actually lose a place there to P5 by not changing gear. But yeah, this race, lot of door banging going on. I mean, you can survive it, but not my cup of tea. Let's head to race B. Welcome to Austria then, which of course means the Red Bull Ring. And as you can see in the background, we are in Group 4 cars, or particularly one Group 4 car that is back. But before we get to that, let's have a look at the race details. We're racing 5 laps here at the Red Bull Ring. It's the full circuit, by the way. It's a rolling start, and we are on racing medium tyres. Now, if it was racing hard tyres, I don't think the Peugeot would be top here, but it's racing mediums, and there's a bit more grip there, which means less wheel spin, which means the RCZ is top of the board here of the FFs, and of course of Group 4 in general here at the Red Bull Ring. Now, this race is the dirty race. I'm going to show you most of it, and you'll also get a track guide in here as well. But I have no idea what's happened today, of all days, because it's like the full moon's out and nobody cares anymore. Here we are then at the start, and as you can see, RCZ, and it's just all RCZs. So, obviously, there's not going to be that much oversteer. One thing I have changed with my FF cars in general is the brake balance, as you see there. I'm on 3 rather than 5. Now, this is because I know a few guys have said that +5 is giving them a little bit more understeer, so I just went to +3 and it appears to still work just as well here, so we're going to go with +3. Now, as always with Race B, we start off with a lap guide, so that is what we're going to do here, or track guide should I say, and just give you a bit of an idea of what to do here. But if you don't know what to do here by now, as I say, if you've been here before in terms of the weekly race guides, well, you're about to find out because it's the obvious. It's a 100-meter board, every single corner bar a couple, but yes, head towards turn 1. You brake just after this, actually, in the RCZ, just after the 100-meter board, because we have a lot of grip here with medium tyres. Round we go, 3rd gear. Avoid running too wide there. Obviously, there are penalties still at play in terms of track limits. Collisions, not so much, but anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later on. Head towards turn 2. Well, what do you know? Guess what board it's going to be again? That's right, it's a 100-meter board, and I mean slap bang on the 100-meter board. You can actually go a little bit after as well, depending if you've got slipstream or not. Obviously, in this situation, we don't have slipstream, so we can go a little bit after, which we do there. Now, 2nd gear, don't go to 1st. You in here. A little bit of wheel spin, but not as much as you would expect on hards. I'd say if it was on hard tyres, I don't think the RCZ would be the go-to car here. But we're on mediums, so it is, unfortunately, which I know means a lot of people will avoid this already. Head down towards right-hander then. You want to brake just before the 100-metre board here. I brake just after, and you will see me run a little bit deep. But it's just before the 100-metre board, and I mean just before. So even if you brake on it, you should make it. But don't go after, and you can see there, a little bit too wide there. But stay in third gear, that's critical there. As you see, two Spaniards head off to the realm. We continue on out that corner, and now we're going to bin off the 100 boards, and we're going to go to the 50 boards, which you can see on the right hand side there. Nice and easy, obviously at Red Bull Ring, the boards are high up, they're never going to get wiped out. Nice and easy markers, should be make it much easier for you to be consistent in terms of racing. So through we go in fourth gear. We're going to continue on, and basically the end of this bit where it joins the short circuit, you're going to want to brake, and you're going to want to turn in quite early. If you can get your front left wheel on the inside of the curb, you're going to get pulled around very nicely. I don't manage to do it here, I don't think. No, I don't. But it'll just pull you around a little bit. Saves you a bit of understeer. Nobody likes understeer, and you know, it'll help you very nicely. Heading towards the double right then. First marker is on your left. It's going to be that marshal post there. Again, very bright. That's not going to get taken out. The marshals are permanently there. I think they're chained to that box, but use that there. Again, get your wheel on the inside of the curb down the green bit, and you should be fine. Heading towards the final corner. I'm braking early here because Max is right in front of me, but at the end of the Austrian flag on the left hand side there, the red, white, red, the end of that is your marker. Third gear, you can cut quite a lot of that inside, continue round, and happy days. So obviously we've caught up to the pack now, and you can see we're 3.3 seconds ahead of the Spaniards behind. This is how much we lose now in this race, honestly, it's mad. So heading towards turn one. I wasn't meant to go for a move here, but there's just a gap there, and Max broke a little bit early, but he made it work, to be fair to Max. So going to get two positions. Running inside of VLX Adventure. That's Adventure Racing. You can check him out on YouTube, of course. I think would have been streaming at this point in time as well. So heading towards the second turn here. I can see what's happening. Everybody's trying to go for the move on Seb here, so you could just see what was going to happen. So I'll just try and keep it tight here. I'm not getting involved in that. 3 wide's big enough already. That corner really is only 2 wide. 3 wide, unless you're absolute aliens, it's not going to work out well. And you saw a bit of contact there. See everyone going hugely defensive down the right hand side, so we're going to head down here. Again, we broke just before this time. Seb goes for launch on Max, a bit of contact there again. I'd say I'm getting very scared here. I'm on the inside, and I think Max gets a little bit sandwiched there. And then we're going to be side by side with Adventure here. So we go a little bit deep here, but we managed to just hold our own on the outside. And then I outbraked myself here, actually. I should have broke a little bit early, but I didn't. And unfortunately, I'm going to lose out to Adventure here. So we carry on with the race, and we're just going to leave just enough space for Max here on the exit. There we go. Look at that. And look how kind I am. An RCZ space to my left. In towards the right we go. And Max is going to pull off a lovely little move here. Perfectly done cutback. Well played, Max. So then I just back out of it because I don't want to be involved. Max just brakes a little bit early there as well. Maybe wanted to give me space on the exit. I don't know, but... look how much we've lost. 2 seconds in that lap. We've lost 2 seconds in one lap. Anyway, you can see again, which just runs a bit further on. Max unfortunately just taps Adventure. Adventure goes off there, so Adventure can have dirt on his tyres. Zozikawa has a penalty, so we're going to go by here. Oh, trust me, it gets interesting now, folks. You know, stay tuned here. Stay tuned. Stay glued to your chair at this moment in time. You can see here, Seb's going very defensive against Max, so Max really sharp, but backs out of it there. Seb goes a little bit deep. Adventure goes for a nice little move on the inside here, so that's going to get that done. Max backs out of it. Good. So good, it's good. You'd argue fairly okay racing, actually. I'm going to say okay. There's some good moves happening, but I think people are getting a little bit frustrated here. So I'm staying behind again. I'm just racing smart here. Just a little bit of a bumper draft to Adventure. Back out of it a little bit. And everyone just stops, basically. So I sort of left the gap on the inside for Zozikawa. And then the Spaniard overtakes me as well. So I've lost out massively here. I'm not sure why we were on the anchors so much there, but we were, unfortunately. So I couldn't do much. So the Spaniard up the inside of Zozikawa. And then I'm not sure Zozikawa wanted that. So absolutely goes for the lunge down the inside. Again, I wasn't really happy with that move. That move was never running him up for Sundays. You've just been overtaken. There's no way you're outbraking everybody there. But we carry on with the racing, and the Spaniard up his P13. We're just sort of stuck here at the moment. Stuck in continuous battles, which we don't want to be involved in. Anyway, we continue on here. So going for the move here. Oh yeah, this is very annoying. Check this out. So I've paused it here because look, he's turning. He would be on the grass. He's turning early here, and I have no idea why. And it frustrates me like nobody's business. So I'm like, I'm here, mate. I'm here. If I didn't actually hit him, he would have been on the grass on the inside. I don't get it. Like, what on earth is going through these people's heads sometimes? I don't know. Anyway, we continue on through there. I mean, I was on the inside, just, obviously you can see that, and then, yeah, it's just bizarre. Goes for lunge on the Spaniard, and then we basically have to stop there, and unfortunately we lose that even more. We were doing 23 miles an hour there, because we had nowhere to go. We were literally stopping on the corner. So now look, we've lost all this position, and it's because of all the crazy dives going on further ahead again, and I'm just like, at this point I was just bored of this race, I really was. But hey, it gets more fun, folks. Look up ahead, there's more contact there. That was the Hungarian on the Spaniard. The Spaniard then is pushed off wide, so yeah, unfortunately for the Spaniard there, loses out. Somebody gets a penalty, I have no idea who up ahead. Oh, it looks like Max has got a penalty there. Then there's a bit of carnage there, a little bit of contact happening again. Honestly, whoa. I'd avoid this race, honestly. Everyone thinks they're Lewis Hamilton in the Peugeots because there's no oversteer suddenly. Honestly, it was just awful, this race. One of the worst races I've ever been a part of. Trust me, it continues. So we're going to go down the inside of Seb and the inside of Max as well. We've both had penalties. So we managed to get through there. Flying car. And then Max decides to go for the lunge of the century again. Pushing me off wide. The Spaniard then launches it as well. I'm not sure who he was trying to hit. Yeah, just horrible. Horrible driving from a lot of people there. I mean, you can see the names. I don't have to say anything. But yeah, that's race B in a nutshell. Another avoid, in my opinion. Let's head to race C then, where it gets a little bit interesting. Welcome then to Sardegna, where we're at Road Track A, which is a really fast one, if anyone's wondering which one it is, which is kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. Let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 10 laps here at Sardegna Road Track A. It's a rolling start, and we are on the racing. Soft and medium tyres, both are required. Fuel usage times 2, tyre wear times 8. Nice and easy to understand. You have a mandatory pit stop, basically. So make sure you do it and don't get the minute penalty. Now, in terms of Sardegna Road Track A, in practice, or qualifying, should I say, the Mclaren F1 appears to be the quickest car. It's very quick in a straight line, so it's no surprise there. However, because of the high tyre wear, it may not be the car for the race. Let's jump to that race then. Let's have a look at it in a bit more detail, and you will probably see why. Here we are then at the start of the race, and as you can see, we have a Corvette on pole. It's then a McLaren and a Corvette. We got a mixture of cars in here, mainly FR cars, which is the critical part of this, the FR factor. Now, as you can see, I'm on +2 here. Brake balances are all in the description, as I always say, but I do go down to +1 later on, so just keep that in mind. I think +2 is a little bit too high. You could even go to 0, I suspect, as well. But we're going to kick off race C with a track guide, actually. Just give you an idea of what to do, where to go, and all that good stuff. So we're going to head, well, we're going to warm our tyres up first of all. If you are not aware of this, when there's tyre wear, you have tyre temps. So a little bit of weaving gets the temps up there, and we're going to head towards turn 1 here, where I'm going to give you 2 markers. The orange on the right hand side, and also the 100-meter board. Depending on your tyre and your compound, that's the same thing, but wear and slipstream, they're the 2 markers you really want to look for here and judge accordingly. Times 8 tyre wear will mean the car changes every single lap, so use those 2 markers as you will. As you can see, we've caught up to the Spaniard quite quickly here. They go defensive, so then we're going to go for a quick switcheroo. But again, 2 markers for this next corner. The 50-meter board, you're normally braking after that, but before the gravel that I've just highlighted, it's just in the distance down the right side. They're the 2 markers you're going to use here. So in we go, and here you're just bouncing the car, maybe a little bit of a dab of the brake, and we continue through there. It's all about bouncing the car in that section. You want to be far left before you go to the right. Head towards this left then, you're going to look for the second to last PlayStation sign on the right hand side, and as that starts to go off your screen is when you're going to brake. Now I'm braking early here because I'm right behind the Spaniard. I don't want to punt them to Narnia, but as that normally goes off screen, and you want to really try and keep it tight, and then look for that gap in the trees there. I didn't highlight it because it's a very hard one to use, but basically it's a gap in the trees. When you see that, you can start to accelerate, so just keep that in mind. We're going to continue on behind the Spaniard. We are going to go for the move here. We're just staying behind until that point. There's no point forcing the issue at the moment. So in towards the braking zone we go. Basically, you're going to look for the 100-meter board, or alternatively, the hay bales that are right behind the barrier here. I'm braking a bit early because I'm on a very tight line here and on medium tyres, but that's what you're normally looking for. As you see, the Volkswagen does it on the outside here. Beautiful move by Arthur. And then keep it in second gear. Do not use first in this car at any point in time. Now, the key here as well, you want to race smart. So I lift a little bit here, and I'm going to lift again. Let Arthur go through. No point fighting it. And as you head to this corner, this is a very hard corner to get right. I normally brake and turn at the same time. So dab a brake and then turn in. And I'm using the end of the curb on the right hand side here. And you'll notice I'm trying to really clip the apex. The problem with that is there's a high risk of hitting the barrier. So just be careful about doing that. Head towards the last corner, and the 100-meter board is where you want to brake. Nice and easy braking here. Again, drop to second gear. Do not use first gear. Do not use it in the slightest. But in towards the braking we go. Obviously, it's a bit, this first lap, a bit more chaos happening. Lots of cars in front of us, so we're not slamming on. Because if we've been laps of late breakers, there's a potential of punting somebody. But we continue on through the right-hander. Now, as you can see, I've started on the medium tyres. Now, the medium tyres is because I'm starting near the back. Obviously, if I'm starting towards the front, I'll probably go on the softs. But this car has quite high tyre usage or wear. As we head towards turn 1, it's going to be side by side here. So in towards the braking zone we go. We try to go around the outside of the Portuguese driver. Not going to work off. We'll do a double move there. Portuguese driver doesn't see us here. They do say sorry in a second as well, which is, you know, fair dues. We all make mistakes. A few hazards there, and we carry on racing. All good, Macho. All good indeed. In towards the right we go, and again you want to keep it as far left as possible. Give you a nice line for the right hander where you can actually get a move done if you nail that perfectly. Let's see then, we continue on. Just give Macho a bit of a bumper draft. There's no point fighting into this corner at this moment in time. Let's try and keep slipstream. Unfortunately, Macho goes a little bit too deep there. Maybe not expecting the overspeed from the bumper drafting. At this point in time, I'm like, right, okay, I need to get past. So I'm going to look to try and get past as best as I can here. So down the inside of the Corvette, you can see the speed of the McLaren. That's why it's top of the leaderboards at the moment. As we head towards the braking zone, then the 100-meter board. There we go. Nice and easy. Second gear. I actually dropped to first there to engine brake, but second gear on exit. You don't always be in first gear when accelerating in this car. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Anyway, on the inside of Arthur here, as there was a little bit of contact there happening, and then through that, I was hoping Arthur would give that one up, to be honest, but you know, he doesn't have to. We are racing at the end of the day. Gives me enough space on the exit. But you can see the amount of time we lost just because of the side-by-side action there. But, you know, we both survived. We carry on as through we go. And Cuba gets all sorts of sideways there. And then it was 3 wide for a moment. So some good racing happening here. And once again, we are behind Adventure there. So, as I say, Adventure does stream on Facebook Gaming as well, interestingly. So you can check him out on there as well. So we've got the slipstream run here, round the outside. I was hoping to get this done and dusted quite quickly so I could try and push on towards the front. And look at that, round the outside, beautiful stuff. Brake a little bit too late here, so I have to really slow the car down. And it's going to be tight as the German's gone off there, but we lose out. So not beautiful, but we continue racing. So looking down the inside here. And let's see what we can do here. Some nice side-by-side racing, which is good to see. Obviously, this video has contained a lot of door bashing. A little bit there, but that's nothing major. Unfortunately, Lars there has the Norwegian, sorry, has gone off there. Nearly called you a Danish driver then. In towards the left we go, again side-by-side. But we should get the job done. Have to leave a little bit of room on exit there because it's just a bit of an overlap. And we continue on here. So more side-by-side action. But you can see how much you lose in terms of time with that side-by-side. So maybe you want to do that or not, I'm not sure, but at this point in time, I think we've lost quite a bit of time. In towards the braking zone we go, and as you can see, what's going to happen here, we're zoomed in on the radar. Lots of bashing. Unfortunately, it forces us off there. So I think that was somebody out braking themselves, potentially Macho, based on that penalty flashing. I'm not too sure. No idea. Could be the Spaniard. Not got the fog yet. Someone bashing somebody else and forced us off, and now we're going to do all that work again. Bit frustrating, as you can probably tell by the feel of this video. It's a bit of a frustrating time with the daily races today. You know, race A and B, just pure carnage, really, pure carnage. And we just got to the head of the mid-pack here, and then unfortunately we got fired off. So we're back in the pack, basically the mid-pack, because a few people DC'd just before the start of this race. We're going to try and go past the Spaniard here. A couple of drivers come in. These guys are all in different cars to the McLaren. I don't think the McLaren could do the pit on the end of lap 3, so just keep that in mind there. So we advance to the end of lap 4, and we are going to come in the pits this lap just to try it out, and in we go. So we're going to go to sauce. So 14.2 seconds to the leader. Let's see what it is by the time we get to the first corner there. So 14.2, it looks like it's going to be about 34.2. So that's a good 20 seconds that you lose there. I didn't mean to go for the move here. I just I just went a little bit later accidentally, so I backed out of it completely because I wasn't trying to go for that in the slightest. But now we continue on. So we advance a bit further on here. Again, I was looking to try and get past Adventure on the outside. I just felt I was the quicker driver here, which is why I was going for it. And in towards the braking zone we go. Going to have a little bit of a nice side-by-side here. Just enough room, McLaren size room. Unfortunately, I just get caught on the curb. I hit the barrier, so I really back out of this. Let Adventure go there. A little error with the curb. But we continue racing, and then in towards the braking we go. Again, I'm really close behind here. I was finding I was catching Adventure under braking like heavily. I don't know if Adventure was saving tyres or not, I'm not too sure. But we're going to look down the inside now. As you see a couple of people coming out the pits there. And we're going to look to try and catch the Turkish driver. The Turkish driver, we don't see that very often. Big Barracuda. In towards the braking zone we go, and that's how we get it stopped properly this time. That's how you do that move. And we continue through there. So we've got the job done. Let's see if we can catch the Aston driver up ahead in P11. P11 if you're German, of course. And in we go. Again, it's all about balancing the car here. Notice I'm not doing any heavy braking there. Through we go. Right behind the Aston. So we got a good run on the Aston here. Now, I think I probably should have waited until the straight here. I think it was a bit of a silly attempt by me. But anyway, we get the job done. I mean, it wasn't, you know, it was a clean move. But, I mean, the smarter move would have been waiting until the straight. But we carry on. We carry on here. I was a bit unsure with tyres as well, of course. So, Adventure going to have the run on me here. Let's see what happens. And Adventure going down the inside then. In towards the braking zone we go. Again, we're going to be side by side through here, but we managed to get it all sorted this time, no problemo, and we continue on. We have a little bit of backwards and forwards Adventure, nothing major really. And then we get to lap 10, we just cost ourselves each of a time. Then that's it, that's the end of the race. So you can have some good racing. There is this, you know, slipstream's going to be the critical thing here, where if you're in a slipstream battle, you're going to lose a lot of time. You can see that gap there from Arthur to P5. You know, that's where the gap was lost earlier on in the race when we had a lot of carnage earlier on. But that's going to be it for race 8. I have no idea who's streaming. No one's scheduled anything, so there's going to be a stream there if you want to check that out. A video there if you want to check out another video on the channel. But that's going to be it for me now, folks. Do give it a like and do subscribe if you want to catch this every week. But au revoir and farewell.